All right, I'm gonna try really hard not to drop the camera because I'm on the edge of a cliff here. But you guys asked for this, so now I'm giving it to you at long last. The video on why I'm dropping out of college. Now, if you look right here, I brought us here today. Is there something important? That is the college campus down there. And I've had a lot of good memories swimming through this river here, all the basketball games and football games I've been to in this place, all the stuff I've learned, all the nature, all the girls I've asked out, all the flips I've done on the oval out there. It's been a lot of fun, but the time has come when I'm planning on leaving it all behind. So the question is why? Why am I gonna do it? Well, today, our little hike today is, I'm gonna explain everything from the 1908 to 1906 Compulsory Education Act, all the way up through my personal experiences at college today. So we're gonna cover like 113 years together today, and I hope you're ready for it. This is gonna be fun. We're gonna go up a little higher right now. If you guys see that one way up there, that's where we're gonna be headed, and we're gonna be talking a lot about college on the way up there. I hope you're ready. So before we dive too far in right now on why I'm dropping out of college, I want to give you guys a little bit of background first. About 8.5 months ago, January, I went to something that we called the High Status Summit with my first mentor ever, Jason Capital, to learn how to make money. It was something that was been haunting me for a long time, being a broke college kid. Just none of it added up, you know. Going to a major is going to let you make maybe $60,000 a year with 25 years of experience. I'm an eco restoration major. Came to college because, let's go this way, because I wanted to be able to learn how to protect nature, all these trees, the fall leaves, all that stuff. I love this. It's my biggest passion in life, is protecting what's left of the natural world. So I came to college to learn how to do that. And then when everything just wasn't adding up, it was like you have to go, always have to go to somebody else with the money. So it all comes back to Monday. Money, money, money. Wow, I'm tired. Let's take a break real quick. And nobody has any money when you go into my major, eco restoration, wildlife biology, anything natural. To protect places like this, you need money to do it. So I started thinking, it's like, why can't I be the guy with the money? Why can't I be the leader? Why can't I be somebody that makes the change instead of the worker be begging someone else for my money? So that's why I went to this High Status Summit in January with Jason Capital. Totally changed my life. We paint businessmen, all these very rich people as one of the biggest villains in Americans' heads. Like every Hollywood movie has an evil businessman that's just the greedy one taking in all this money. And that was the total opposite of what I found down at the High Status Summit. All these speakers, some of them billionaires, came out with so much passion to be able to help. They didn't care what we wanted the money for. They didn't care anything like that. They just cared that we were gonna go make a difference in the world. So all these guys from Joel Marion, Dan Pena, Jason Capital, Craig Ballantyne, Bedros Keuilian, all these phenomenal entrepreneurs came up and basically told us their story, exactly how they did it. For 3 days I went down there and I came back and my whole perception was shattered. All right, I'm gonna run up this hill real quick. You guys are gonna come with me and we'll continue up at the top. Gotta strap you in real quick and then you'll be along for the ride. This cold air gets to your lungs, guys. It's so good for you. Let's go. Welcome to the most famous hike in Missoula, the M Trail. I'm gonna catch my breath. Whew. So here we are. You got a little bit better view of the college down there. This is the most famous hiking trail in Missoula, Montana, the M Trail. Very fun trail. And I hiked this trail on my first day visiting the University of Montana as a college senior, high school senior, at the very beginning of the year, and it was crazy. I knew this was the place I wanted to attend because no other college offers such a connection to nature, and so much awesome people here. It was amazing. So let's continue here. I went to the High Status Summit down there in January, came back to college, and my whole perception was changed on how I thought about the world, what I wanted to do. You see, ever since I was this little tiny kid, I always had this idea that I would be like a natural champion. You know, I had an imaginary friend when I was really little. He looked, so it was like if you looked at the mountains way over there, the snow, whenever the snow came in the winter, it looks like it would fill in the face of an orca. So I would look across to the mountains every day, and I would see this big face of an orca in the mountains back in my hometown. And it was like my imaginary friend. I told it everything. I always imagine myself protecting places like that that are just so unique. And things change, you know. I love people, I love all this stuff, and I've developed a really big passion for connecting, helping people all over the world. One of the reasons why I started my business. And so it all started when I came back, and I live right across the street down there. You guys probably can't see it in the camera. So I came in there, and I came back, and I was like, well, I guess I'm gonna learn how to start a business, because now I had the belief for the first time in my life that I could make a massive impact. I could leave my footprint on planet Earth, that I could be the guy. All those people down there in Costa Mesa, California, instilled that belief in me. So it was a beautiful thing. And I started walking around to every single business in the city, every single one, like restaurants, auto parts stores, wellness centers. I think I even walked into a school one time, all trying to tell them that I was a good writer, and that I could take over their email lists, I could take over their social media, and I could help them make a lot more money. Now, as a 21-year-old kid that really didn't have any idea what he was doing, I got rejected more times than I can count. If you look across this valley, I've been to probably every one of those buildings downtown, walked into every single one. Can I run your email list for you? We have this massive coffee shop here called Liquid Planet. And I snuck my way into the headquarters one day. There was someone walking out, and the door's usually like locked. You need a key to get in. So I waited for somebody to come out and was like, okay, thanks for opening the door for me. Snuck in, found one of the 7 presidents of this corporation at this big coffee shop down there, and just basically sat down at his office and forced him to hear my offer. He said no, as you can imagine. So I was really determined to do all this stuff though. And things just kept building momentum there. So they always say these the entrepreneurs, the people that make it big, you just get really, really good at smashing your head against a brick wall, trying to figure it out, trying to just be the person you want to be. You have to have that belief that you're going to be the one that succeeds. And I tried that for probably 4 months, didn't get any results at all. But then something changed. Something big changed, and I started taking advantage of the people that I met down in Costa Mesa. It's basically all LA. It's a very confusing city, California and LA. But something amazing happens, and we're gonna go up to the next ledge here, and I'm gonna tell you more about that. All right, it's gonna get to be a good story very soon. All right, why am I dropping out of college? I think like 25 of you voted on this this poll I did on Instagram to ask me to make this video, which is like the most requested video I've had so far, and I want to deliver for you guys. So let's come down to the answers. Why am I dropping out of college? That beautiful campus down there, I'm leaving it all behind, and I had to answer that with another story. So I started building momentum in my business, all that stuff you guys have heard me talk about. I've worked with like, I think 6 or 7 entrepreneurs all over the world: Bulgaria, California, North Carolina, the Caribbean islands, New York, all sorts of incredible people all over the world. I'm building my impact. I'm starting to help these people. I'm making them more money. So I'm like really good at what I do for the first time. And it's just so incredible. So I've been spending so much time with all these people, right? For the past about 6 months, 5-6 months here. I really started to make an impact and really getting good at what I do. I was spending a lot of time doing that, but I was also spending a lot of time in class, going to this college stuff. and I was learning about stuff like, well, there's the xylem and the phloem, and the bark beetle attacks the phloem layer because it lays its eggs there. It lays this thing called this blue moss that attacks the tree and creates food for them in the long term so they can survive over the winter in these tree bark. And it's all cool stuff, right? Very complicated and all cool stuff. You learn about like water hydrology, you look at this hill and you think about all the water systems that are going on underneath the surface. Total different way to look at the world, and I like it. But is it what gonna make a difference for me? Is it what's gonna allow me to change the world? Is it what's gonna allow me to protect places like this? Is it what's gonna allow me to make connections with people all over the world, make people happy, and protect nature? The answer I kept coming back to was no. So I spent a ton of money going to seminars like Vince Del Monte in Toronto. I spent $1,900 to go there. I just kept meeting all these people that were encouraging me to go all in on my business. None of them asked me to drop out of college. I have to be clear there. This was a personal decision that I've spent a lot of time talking to my family about and other people. But all these people went all in on their business, and there was a common theme among a lot of them, just the uber successful, that they dropped out like a semester shy of graduation. And it just so happens that's where I am now, and I was thinking about it before I went to these things. I've been going to all these classes, spending so much time learning all this stuff, but none of it's changing. In particular, there was one class where this whole momentum has come from, where I was sitting in the forest ecology class, and we were talking about the air cycles, the adiabatic cooling rate of air parcels as they move up the side of a mountain. You have no need to know what that is, all right? So we're talking about it, and I'm shaking in my chair, just like, why are we learning this? Why aren't I learning how to write money for grants? Why aren't I learning how to make money so I can make the difference with these palm oil plantations, to save and all this stuff? And so I barely sat through class, and we have a group meeting after to learn about what our project's gonna be for the year. You guys don't even know what the project was. Know what the project was. It was like pine needles and all sorts of shit that was gonna take forever. It was gonna take me away from my business and these people that I was learning to help. So I stood up in the middle of that group meeting with all the class there, and I walked up and shook the professor's hand. I was like, "Hey, thank you for your expertise, but I am not gonna do this." I shook his hand and I walked out. And it was the most liberating feeling ever. Oh, it felt so good. Because now I get to sit up on top of these mountains and think in places like this. And I think I made the right decision. The reason why is because I'm going to learn more starting a business than anything else ever, right? We go to college because there's like there was the 1906 thing, the compulsory education that got implemented and forced us to go to college or go to school. There was this nationwide school thing, and then the corporations, after realizing they couldn't make people work 12-hour workdays anymore, they couldn't do child labor, they found the next best thing, and they controlled the school systems. They created the school systems to create workers. We go to those schools not to learn how to become free thinkers. We go to those schools to learn how to work for the corporation. The bell still rings because that was the system they implemented in the early 1900s to keep people on their lunch break. It was like, that's when you go to lunch, that's when you come back to work, is when the bell rings. That's why it's in the schools, all right? We were taught to be workers. All right, you start to learn a little bit of the history about all this stuff, and it is insane that our creativity is more or less robbed from us. It's not built. None of it's built. I don't care what any of you say. None of that is built to teach you how to become a creative individual. Now, I do have to say, college has been very beneficial for me so far. All the times I've been to hot springs all around here, all the people I've met. I wouldn't be where I am had I not gone to that university. But it's not benefiting me anymore. It's stealing creativity from the places that I need to go. And what it really is, how I view the entire situation right now, is all of college, that degree, the paper that I am literally 2 semesters away from getting. It is all a safety net. It is all a backup plan that your subconscious says, well, it's okay if you fail, Jake. You can always turn back and you can get a nice Forest Service job making $35,000 a year and hate yourself, work 12-hour days. No, that's what I say. I'm going to force myself to do my own thing. I'm gonna create my own business. I'm gonna create my own wealth. I'm gonna create my own everything. That is what I am going to do. And college is not gonna benefit me at all on that. All right, that is the long story short of why I'm dropping out of college And now I'm starting a copywriting business, or I'm running a copywriting business, and it's starting to go really, really fucking good. I'm having so much fun with it. So guys, I'm not encouraging any of you to drop out of college. I'm not encouraging you, any of you to do that. All right. I am going to encourage you to educate yourself. Pursue self-education instead of the typical education that's forced on us. And paying the $120,000 it costs to go to this university for an out-of-state student to get a bachelor's degree is probably not worth it. I can tell you from experience and being in debt now, and I got to pay all that shit off by running a fucking awesome business. Okay, that does it. Let's run down a mountain. You guys can come with me, see a little bit of parkour. Got to warm up these legs. Think about it, and we'll talk a little bit more when I get down to the very bottom of the mountain. Guys sinking behind me. Ooh. Love the free spirits of the world. Oh. Now here's where we get to the deer trails. Oh, my favorite. About to get steep up here. Here's the fun part. Hey, dude. And we're back.